The trucks are at Texas Motor Speedway.
These guys will be able to run wide open.
It's really anybody's race.
It's big, it's fast, it's Texas. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on a steamy summer night from Texas Motor Speedway. The master of the mile and a half, Matt Crafton, hotter than the Lone Star Heat. Tonight, he goes for a third consecutive win. No one has scored more points on the mile and a half tracks this season than Daniel Hemrick, but he's still searching for his first career victory. Is this the night? Herman Quiroga is back in the saddle. 19 months of no racing, no problem. He starts on the front row. And what's old is new again. Johnny Sauter reunited with his former crew chief, and tonight he's on the pole at Texas for the third time. The champions, the veterans, the first-timers, we've got it all tonight at Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the U.S. Army Reserve 1st Battalion, 354th Regiment, 95th Division of Grand Prairie, Texas, presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing and welcome Texas Alliance Raceway Ministries' Dr. Roger Marsh offering tonight's invocation.
Heavenly Father, we gather here at the Great American Speedway on this gorgeous Friday evening to enjoy the excitement of NASCAR Camping World Truck Series racing. And as we do so, we are mindful of the freedoms that we enjoy here in America, and we pray that you would be with all those who defend those freedoms at home and abroad. And Father, tonight we turn our attention to the race, and we pray that you would be with all the fans. Thank you for the sponsors. Be with the drivers and the teams as they compete. Help them to do their best. In Jesus' name I pray it. Amen.
Please welcome to the stage 13-year-old Aiden Fisher from Omaha, Nebraska, as he performs our national anthem.
future rock star. We just saw that. Who's going to be the next racing star? Going green when we come back. What a beautiful night at Texas Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. The 37th visit for the Truck Series to Texas Motor Speedway, more than any other track in series history. And got a couple of former winners in the field tonight, but no one has won in a truck at this track more than Todd Bodine. Glad to have him in the booth with us tonight. Good evening and welcome along with Todd Bodine and Phil Parsons. I'm Vince Welch. This is a fast track. 4 of the 6 fastest races in series history have been staged right here at Texas Motor Speedway. It's big, it's bad, it's fast, and it's going to be fun. Todd, we saw the graphic. You're the master here. It's your house. Nobody's done it better than you. What's the key for these guys, young and old, to getting around Texas Motor Speedway and have a chance to win?
Well, Texas Motor Speedway, for a driver, is very difficult. But it's not because it's big and not because it's fast. It's because it's hard to read. These guys do all their practice in the heat of the day, right? The sun up in the sky, and they race at night. It's cool. The track gains grip. So this place lends itself to veterans that know how to get their truck set up during the day to be good at night. And just the opposite for the rookies. They haven't got a clue what they need in the day to make it good at night. So they have to rely on veteran crew chiefs to help them with that process.
And the crew chiefs, well, they've got their hands full too, Phil.
Well, we have so many things we have to think about. We have 5 sets of tires for this race. You do the math, it's 167 laps. You got 33 laps per set. But the problem is we have a caution clock here in the series. Every 20 minutes, if we don't get a caution, we're going to see a caution flag. So if we get a caution at lap 15, these drivers, Vince, are going to be screaming for tires. We don't have enough tires to put tires on there. We're going to have to put fuel on so we can make it to the next caution clock. So, there's so many things that we have to think about, and we're going to have those changing track conditions. It's going to get dark. The racetrack is going to gain grip. What's that going to do to our balance? We don't know what's going to go on here. So there's so many things for a crew chief to worry about. All the driver has to do is drive, Vince.
You make it sound so easy. And we're on a new tire, too, so the teams are trying to get used to that as well. Has that been a curveball for them this weekend?
I think it has been a bit of a curveball. The Cup Series ran that same tire here in April, but first time these guys have seen either side, left or right.
Well, let's go trackside. Continue with opening ceremonies.
No Limits, Texas. It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome the Great American Sweethearts, PJ, Hope, Emily, and Alyssa to give the command.
Driver, start your engine!
Go ahead, fire it up, buddy.
It's the first year for the chase in the Camping World Truck Series. Is one of these drivers going to get a chase spot tonight? Texas Motor Speedway, it's a hot summer night. The action expected to be hot tonight as well. It's going to be fun. Mile and a half. Todd Bodine, there's so much more to be said than the distance.
A fast mile and a half, 24-degree banking, 5 degrees in the straightaway. This place is fast. It will get your attention.
Let's take a look at our Camping World race analysis. You can see 167 laps, just over 250 miles. There's that caution clock. Again, every 20 minutes, that equates to about 38 to 39 green flag laps. Our fuel window, though, is 50 to 55 laps. Another thing the crew chiefs have to keep in mind, and the winner of this race last year and the year before was Matt Crafton.
Take a look at our starting lineup tonight, and of course it is led by the front row, Johnny Sauter, the pole winner, 3rd time on pole here at Texas. He's won this race a couple of times. Ramon Quiroga on the front row as well. Matt Crafton, he's won the last 2 June races here at Texas, and he's won the last 2 races this season, so he's on quite a roll. And some bright young stars as we hit rows 3 and beyond.
Yeah, there's John West Townley, a winner last year at Las Vegas on a mile and a half. Christopher Bell won on the dirt at Eldora.
Cameron Haley, he's been really strong this year, but hasn't been get to that victory lane.
See, Ben Kennedy, Cole Custer. Cole Custer got his diploma tonight from track president Eddie Gossett.
His high school graduation tonight. He couldn't be there in California, so they presented him the diploma here on stage tonight during driver intros. That was a great scene.
Parker Kligerman had a great start to the season. 3 top 10s to start it off.
Surprising to see John Hunter Nemechek that far back in the field.
See Austin Hill, former K&N East Series winner, back there as well.
32 drivers in the field tonight. Let's talk to one of them, Phil.
Let's see if we can touch base with Armand Quiroga. Hey, Armand, Phil Parsons up in the FS1 booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, first of all, it's great to have you back in a truck. I know it's been a long time, and I know this night can be really special for you. You have your parents here, your fiance's here. What would it mean to have a great run in that Red Horse Toyota?
Well, it would be an amazing day, just like a dream. I've been really trying to get back into the truck series. I know the fans are great. I know how hard it is. I enjoy racing with these guys, so I'm pretty proud and thankful for being able to race the 11 truck here in Texas, and being able to have my family here is very special. Thanks to Tom DeLoach for the opportunity for all the guys at Red Horse Racing back home. Hopefully we can put a great show for the fans, and I mean, this will mean really the world for me if I can pull that win tonight.
All right, buddy. Glad to have you back. Have a good ride.
Thank you.
Going to have some great views from some onboard cameras tonight as well.
Yeah, we're going to ride along with Jesse Little. That's the Toyota on board. Jesse's going to be starting from the 21st spot. His 5th truck race. He finished in the top 15 here last year.
Starting 5th, Tyler Reddick, Cooper Standard Ford with the Ford EcoBoost onboard camera.
Why don't we ride along with the guy that won these last 2 June races here, Matt Crafton, going for 3 in a row. Last time out that he ever won back-to-back, trying for 3 in a row, and don't count him out starting 4th.
And on the pole, going for a 2nd win of the year, Johnny Sauter in a Smoky Mountain Herbal Snuff Chevy.
Starting from the pole, Johnny Sauter. Going to be fun. Going to be fun tonight. And keeping track of things downstairs on pit road, we've got Hermie Sadler and Caitlin Vincey. Hello, Caitlin.
Hello, Vince. I'm joined now by Crew Chief Junior Joyner, already a 2-time winner so far this season for Matt Crafton. Now, I want to talk to you about how difficult is this race going to be to call from the top of the box with the tire fall off and the caution clock and all the elements you're balancing?
I think with the caution clock now, they're all a little bit more difficult than they've been in the past, but we have a really good Menards Tundra. We just have to execute, be smart tonight, save a set of tires for the end, and leave it up to the old Sandusky cart. He's a bottom feeder, so hopefully our truck turns good on the bottom tonight, I think.
All right, well, best of luck to you. Matt Crafton starting P4 for tonight's race. Now let's check in with Hermie Sadler.
Well, Caitlin, Joe Shear, new team tonight, GMS Racing. Put a familiar face behind the wheel, back with Johnny Sauter. Good qualifying run, but what are going to be the challenges of trying to win this race tonight?
Well, me and Johnny work good together, and we've won here before. Obviously, we started out with a good truck. Actually, I was surprised that we got the pole. I thought we brought a downforce truck here, so that's good. So I think it's going to race good. So obviously, staying out front, good stops, good strategy, and hopefully we can do this in the first shot again.
That's Joe Shear Jr. He's the crew chief for Johnny Sauter.
Great story. What a great story. Johnny Sauter and Joe Shear Jr. back together, but the driver starting on pole hasn't had so much success this season. Look at the races, the 6 races we've had this season, and where the driver starting on pole has finished. Maybe Sauter would prefer to start somewhere else after seeing this.
Only one of those in the top 10. William Byron finished 10th at Charlotte, but I think that stat's going to change as we go through this season.
There you see the 21 of Johnny Sauter's chosen the outside lane to start this race with Herman Quiroga on the inside. They're coming through turns 3 and 4. The pace truck will pull off, and we will get race number 7 of the Camping World Truck Series season underway. Matt Crafton in that bright yellow truck, 2nd row outside, has won 2 consecutive races, going for 3 in a row tonight. But Sauter will lead them to green at Texas. Sauter jumps out front, and Crafton follows into 2nd.
How about Hemrick jumping to the inside of Quiroga to take over that 3rd spot?
Crafton already looking. Sauter trying to block a bit, but Crafton to the inside for the lead. We haven't even run a lap yet.
And they're 3 wide. Matt Crafton not wasting any time to continue his dominance here.
The first lap is led by Matt Crafton. Sauter sits 2nd. Hemrick third. There's another Brad Keselowski truck there with Tyler Reddick in fourth.
Looks like Hemrick wants that second spot. Jumps to the outside of Johnny Sauter. And now Reddick's going to make it 3 wide.
Todd, it's so interesting to see the different ways in which the drivers attack the two different ends of the track.
It is, you know, and Ford truck,
There's a problem. Christopher Bell heading to pit road.
And he's not under power.
No. What a blow, going to the garage. One of the race favorites.
You have to wonder, maybe something happened on the start, maybe missed a gear or something like that and overread the engine. Hard to speculate right now, but
I'd have to believe that's exactly what happened, Phil. These motors are bulletproof now, and Triad does a great job with their motors. Actually, those are Joe Gibbs motors, so it had to be something like that.
Christopher Bell was currently 10th in the point standing, so he was on the outside looking in as far as one of those 8 chase spots are concerned, so certainly will damage his hopes without a victory here in these final 10 races leading up to the chase. He started 9th, and already Christopher Bell going to the garage.
You know, I think a lot of these drivers look at this race and these next couple 3 races as opportunities because they're standalones. We don't have the Cup guys here. So they know that Kyle Busch isn't going to come here and maybe take a win and take a possible chase berth away from somebody as we watch Cole Custer battle Ben Kennedy. Cole's in the 00, Ben the 33.
Cole's the first one that I've seen get up there and on top and make a pass this early. 5 laps on their tires. This is when they start to drop off. This is when they're starting to slip and slide. Pressures are coming up. This is when we're going to see some outside passes.
Here's a look at Ben Rhodes in that 41, creeping his way toward the top 10. Before we saw Bell go to pit road, we were talking about the different ways in which you attack these 2 ends of the track, Todd.
It is. You know, the entry of each of these corners is totally different. Turn 1, you pick up the banking early. Turn 3, you don't. The banking falls away when you're still turning the truck. And that makes it difficult to get in these corners. We heard Matt Crafton talk about that. Getting the truck into the corner is very important.
There you see much flatter as they go into turn 3. You see Crafton in the lead, Daniel Hemrick second, and our pole winner Johnny Sauter in third. Here's the 4 truck on the first lap. Watch him pull to the inside.
He obviously has a problem right there. Almost got run over by, it looks like, Cameron Haling, the 13, right on the initial start. Boy, you have to wonder, maybe either a transmission problem or maybe missed a gear.
Bell had a career best 3-race top 10 streak entering into this one tonight. They felt like they were just starting to get things going, starting to click, and they felt like they were just on the verge of winning. It's not going to be tonight as you ride on board with Johnny Sauter.
Look at the momentum that Johnny gained on Daniel Hemrick by running the high side down there in 3 and 4. And I was talking to Matt Crafton, Todd. He said it's a little easier to run the high side down in 3 and 4 because it's not quite as rough as it is at 1 and 2. 1 and 2, the more you move up the racetrack, the rougher it gets.
That bump over the tunnel, it is, Phil. The higher up the track you go, the worse it is. You know, we heard Joey Shear, Johnny Sauter's crew chief, talk about bringing a downforce truck. This is when that's going to pay off right now. This is when he's going to see the dividends of all that downforce in these corners.
Sauter starting to close the gap on Matt Crafton. Sauter won the season opener at Daytona, clinched his spot into the chase. Remember, we've got a chase for the first time this season. 8 trucks, 8 truck teams, 8 truck drivers will get into the chase. A 7-race run to the championship, and Sauter clinched right away with that season opening win at Daytona. Then they had some problems, and then he came back in the last couple of races and has been strong again.
Yeah, he certainly has. Johnny Sauter knows how to get it done at these kind of racetrack, any kind of racetrack right now. And I think Matt Crafton realized that Johnny had moved up the racetrack, got by Daniel Hemrick and was making some ground up, and then he moved up the racetrack as well.
Well, I think that's a twofold thing. I think Matt knows he needs to go up there, a little more grip probably, little more momentum on the top, but at the same time, he's taking Johnny's line away, making that truck push behind him.
71 of Carlos Contreras has gone to the garage as well. But the big story so far is Christopher Bell in that 4 truck already in the garage, and he's with Hermie.
Yeah, disappointment for Christopher Bell out on the opening lap of the race. What happened?
Rookie mistake. Herm just missed a shift there. First time I've ever done it, but went from 3rd to 2nd instead of 3rd to 4th. And just hate it for all my guys, man. This JBL Tundra has been really fast this week, and felt like we really had something to compete for a win, which we desperately need to get in the chase. So just hate it for all my guys, man. It's a shame.
That's Christopher Bell in the garage. 88 in trouble on the racetrack.
If there could be a bigger story than Christopher Bell, we've just seen it. The 88 of Matt Crafton heard the radio, blew a tire into the wall already. He was the leader.
Yeah, it's an amazing that he didn't hit the wall any harder than he did. He realized he had a problem. He kept it up a high side and got against the wall just a little bit. I don't think there's a whole lot of damage to that truck, Todd.
It doesn't look like there's much damage at all. If it did knock the toe out
here, we'll have to roll the fenders out a little bit. We just barely touched it, I think. It doesn't look bad at all. I can't really tell from...
That's David Pepper, a spotter, talking about he is obviously able to see the right side of the truck when Matt went by the start-finish line. And I think right now, take your time and fix that truck. Even if you lose a lap, Matt's fast enough. He's going to get a free pass. He can take a waiver on later. This is not the end of his night, I don't think.
You have to get those fenders off those tires and make sure you don't have a rub, or you end up with another situation like they got into.
Anytime we come...
half before that down the front street.
Anytime we come to a mile-and-a-half track, we always talk about Matt Crafton as being the favorite. He'd won 6 of the last 12 on the mile-and-a-half, but you can't have problems and get to victory lane. I think he just avoided a major issue by keeping it off the wall any more than he was there.
Yeah, I think he went to turn down in the corner, Todd, and the thing wouldn't turn because the right front tire had deflated.
Yeah, you could see on that shot him coming down the back straightaway. It was a few hundred feet before he got to the corner. You could see the right front of the truck drop down, and he felt that. That's veteran feel right there. See, out of the throttle.
And what about a heads-up move by Johnny Sauter to miss him?
Absolutely. 2 veteran drivers knowing what they're doing.
So we've completed 12 laps, and we've already had 2 major developments with Christopher Bell missing a shift, engine problem to the garage, and then Matt Crafton with a flat tire and getting into the wall.
Watch right there. You see it?
Yeah, the splitter actually got closer to the racetrack.
Yes, it did. This gap in the splitter was less, and that's when it went down.
Yeah, just simply cut a tire down. Could have happened to anybody.
See the damage there, a little damage on the right rear as well. Crafton's only finish outside of the top 10 so far this season was at Atlanta, where he finished 30th. Remember, he was battling for the lead with Daniel Suarez, and they crashed. Stories already at Texas. Bell is out. Crafton has problems. Back at Texas Motor Speedway, didn't take long for the drama to begin. You see Matt Crafton has won this race the last 2 years. Trouble already. Avoided disaster, quite possibly, but not without an issue. And Christopher Bell, one of the drivers we expected to contend for the win, he is already done for the night. Engine issue after missing a shift on the initial start of the race. So now what? How's everybody start to regroup?
Well, I think right now for Matt Crafton, that's the tire that came off the right front of that 88 truck. But Junior Joyner and his guys kept him on the lead lap, Hermie.
Yeah, did a good job staying on the lead lap. You can see the right front tire off of the 88. You see the inner liner still kept the air in it, but the tire definitely destroyed. A little bit of damage to the right front. That's what they were basically working on. Also a little bit of damage to the right rear of the truck, but they do not think the right rear damage will be a problem. They feel pretty good about the repairs they made. You can see Junior Joyner talking to Goodyear officials as well as some other team members, but Matt Crafton is still on the lead lap, but lost a lot of track position.
Well, Phil, it's one of the things you talked about in the pre-race, the keys and the things that crew chiefs have to deal with.
Yeah, and Junior Joyner right now had to put one of his sets of tires on. He didn't want to put that set of tires on probably till lap 40 or even later. He talked about wanting to save a set for the end of the race, and I think that takes that out of the window.
Here's the restart with Johnny Sauter on the outside and Daniel Hemrick on the inside. They're in the restart zone, and they have fired back to racing at Texas.
Side battle for third right now between William Byron in the 9 and Reddick in the 29.
It seems like those Brad Keselowski trucks have a little sport in them tonight.
Yeah, I was talking to the guys down in the garage area yesterday before practice started, and they said they felt like they had some really good stuff coming here, and they had a little bit of information on the tire. And that's what we've had so many different new tires. We already talked about it, that they don't really get that much tire data. But the fact that the Cup cars, as we watch
Hemrick
go for the lead.
Got a great run off of turn 4. Used that draft. That big truck in front of him was pushing Johnny Sauter, and right by him he went.
Daniel Hemrick to the front for the first time tonight. Sauter in second, William Byron in third, and here comes Crafton on the move once again.
And these are good trucks he's passing. That's Cameron Haley, who's been really fast this year. One of his teammates at Thorsport, as well as the 51 Kyle Busch truck of Cody Coughlin.
Crafton restarted 25th after that issue and having to go to pit lane. He's already up to 16th.
Yeah, he's going to keep mowing them down, too. Watch him drive around them on the high side.
2-in-1 shot.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anything.
No.
That hurt that 88 truck at all, does it?
Matt Crafton had to pit twice to fix that damage. You're right on board with him now as he continues to move forward.
But also, Phil, let's keep in mind that he has fresh tires. These guys have 15 laps, and we saw how much drop-off these tires had in practice. You know, those tires alone are probably worth half a second right now.
Well, those new tires help you now, but he's going to possibly want those. You got to manage the amount of tires you have because you're going to want more than you got.
Yeah, and he's in a hole right now with the fact that he's going to have to maybe glue up the left sides that were on that truck. Obviously, NASCAR may give him a new right front to go for the one that went down, but probably now he's going to really be behind the 8-ball here as he races right now with John Hunter Nemechek in the 8 truck.
Good to see that sponsorship on the Nemechek truck this week. There's Rico Abreu in the 98 that just went past Crafton. You see he's moved up 14 spots since that restart.
The best thing that probably could happen for Matt Crafton and Junior Joyner right now is another caution. So these other guys come in, put a set of tires on, they can come in, gas and go, and it won't put them that far behind at that point.
Crafton taking a look at John Hunter Nemechek in that 8 truck just ahead. That's Cole Custer ahead of Nemechek.
Yeah, he really needs to utilize the tire advantage he has right now, and he's not been able to do that. He just passed them all till he got to John Hunter Nemechek, and now he's stalled out.
That's for 10th. That group right there is 10th, 11th, and 12th. Spencer Gallagher just ahead in 9th.
Well, he's got about 5 laps on these tires now. 4 or 5 laps, coming for 5 laps. That's when these tires start dropping off, and that's when his advantage, his big advantage, is going to go away.
He's going to drive to the inside of the 00 of Cole Custer. At some point, he's going to be out here with a lot older tires than everybody, and that's when it's really going to show up.
I do not envy Junior Joyner right now, trying to figure out how he's going to manage the tires he's got left.
Yeah, but you got to get up there as far as you can, as fast as you can, because you want to get those spots and take advantage of those fresh tires, as you see Geller. How about Rico Abreu, about 4 trucks back there, rim ride like he's at Kokomo.
Like he won just the other day, right?
Look at him, that 98.
You know, Rico had a lot of speed at Charlotte last time out, too, and just wasn't able to get the finish he deserved, but looks like he's got a pretty darn good truck here as he drives by the 00 of Cole Custer.
And he did the same thing as Charlotte. He got that thing up to the top and made some time.
This is the battle for second. Johnny Sauter on the outside trying to work on William Byron for position. Sauter got it.
William Byron is one of 10 drivers that have never raced a truck here at Texas, doing an outstanding job. Here, Johnny had to pedal the throttle a little bit up off the corner.
Got a little push going up off. That's pretty typical right there. If your push starts down in the middle of the corner, it'll run you up the racetrack a little bit, and when you run up the racetrack, the push gets even worse.
There's that forward onboard camera for Tyler Reddick. Now he's watching this second place battle. Certainly possible for him to make it 3 wide here. He's another guy that's not afraid to run the high side.
And he's up there. He's looking.
Reddick still searching for that first win of the season. Runner-up in the championship last year, but he's currently 9th in the standings, and 8 make the chase. As you're on board again with Reddick. Sauter moving up now, and Reddick going to try to go underneath.
Johnny's truck gone to pushing a little bit here. He's having to move up the track, and you can see the thing just doesn't rotate and roll through the middle of the corner.
You see the clock that ticks on the upper left-hand portion of your screen. That's our caution clock. Every 20 minutes, it will reset. If it runs down to 0, then we'll have a caution.
Yeah, Matt Crafton was the fastest truck on the racetrack that time by almost a half a second.
Hermie on the leader.
Well, Vince, we saw a little bit of this from Daniel Hemrick back at Charlotte. Ran well all day. I spoke to his crew chief, Chad Kendrick. When the last caution came out, they were prepared to come down pit road to get fuel only if the rest of the leaders came down pit road, but they did not. Right now, the truck is a little bit on the tight side, but that's where they say they want it. They believe later tonight, after the sun sets, this racetrack will get a little bit freer and play into the hands of the night team.
Well, they've really run well on the mile and a halfs this season. We mentioned earlier they've scored more points on the mile and a halfs than any other team this season. They were 4th at Atlanta, ran a career best 3rd at Kansas, backed it up with a top 10 at Charlotte. Very strong, that 19 of Daniel Hemrick, and crew chief Chad Kendrick's done a nice job.
They certainly have done a great job, as Matt Crafton now has already made his way in the top 5. Now he passes Johnny Sauter for the 4th position.
Oh, those tires, he's loving that.
I used to tell people the best feeling in the world was having new tires at a racetrack like this and everybody else on old tires. It doesn't feel any better than that.
I feel like Superman.
The 33 of Ben Kennedy running 7th. Caitlin?
That's right, Vince, and he's been able to pick up a few spots since he qualified 15th, moved up to 7th. Now he said, we've made a lot of progress since I came over here to GMS Racing, and with these next 3 races back-to-back, I think we're really going to find out exactly where we are, where we need to improve. This is his first weekend with the crew chief Marcus Richmond calling the shots for him, but seems like it's going pretty well for him so far. Just telling his team he's free over the bumps in turn 3 and a little tight off.
Yeah, that 33 looks good. It's going to be a real benefit to Ben Kennedy to have the leadership of Marcus Richmond on the box. Continue to develop that program. Everybody's chasing Daniel Hemrick. He's the leader at Texas. Non-stop action at Texas Motor Speedway as Matt Crafton bears down on Daniel Hemrick for the lead. Meanwhile, Spencer Gallagher, right front down and into the wall. He is on pit lane for repairs.
You know, that's about 30 laps on those tires for Spencer Gallagher. You know, Matt Crafton only had about 10 laps on his tire.
So here's the developments we've had already. Christopher Bell missed a shift on the opening start. A driver we thought could win tonight. He's done before he even gets started. Matt Crafton, lap 11. Right front goes down into the wall a little bit. They had to pit a couple of times, put fresh tires on. He restarted 25th. Now he's gone all the way to the lead, but he's a set short on tires compared to everyone else.
Yeah, without it, he's going to have to pay the price at some point. Now, there's a scenario for this race to play out where maybe it won't be such a huge disadvantage, but we're going to have to rock along here for a while to see what may happen. Right now, he's wicked fast.
Caution clock under 9 minutes.
That's the thing. If we get to that 20-minute mark, that caution clock comes out, he's going to have to put tires on at that point because he's going to have all those laps. And that's exactly what Junior Joyner didn't need to see, because then they put him back on the same tire as everybody, but one set down.
Let's get more on the 88 with Hermie.
Guys, I want to give you an update. I just spoke to Junior Joyner, the crew chief, on the 88. NASCAR gave that team a right front tire to go back with the set they've got. Now, that's not a perfect scenario, and Junior Joyner is hoping to not have to use that set of tires, but sometime tonight he could go back with a set of tires with 3 scuffs and a brand new right front if they had to, but certainly that's the last resort for the 88.
That is a horrible scenario as a driver, to have a new right front tire on there with 3 of them that have 11 laps on them.
But it's better than having to go out there and ride around on 50-lap tires.
I think that I would be inclined to put it on the right rear.
Well, here's what's happened with the 88 tonight. You saw that, the right front issue into the wall, but boy, really averted disaster by barely grazing the wall and not doing major damage. He restarted 25th, and then with those fresh tires, just like a knife through hot butter through the field.
Yeah, amazingly stayed on the lead lap through all the repairs by Junior Joyner and the crew. So these guys right now with 13, 14 laps more on the tires than Matt Crafton are really no match to him. He's already opened up almost a 2.5 second lead. Now it is 2.5 second lead over Daniel Hemrick.
It'll be amazing to see how much gap he can put between himself and the rest of the field with that tire differential, either in the 7 minutes that remain on the caution clock or before we get a caution.
And guys, remember now, most of the trucks right now, every truck in the top 17, with the exception of Matt Crafton, has not been to pit road yet. And this caution clock is going to come on about the time that these guys are going to need fuel. So we may have some trucks run out of fuel before they can get to that caution clock.
It's going to be real close. And we talked about it, Phil. These guys, these crew chiefs had to make that decision when they had a caution. It was 12, 15, 17 laps. What do we do? Do we come in and top off?
Do you think maybe Johnny Sauter is backed off now to try to save some fuel to make sure that he can get to the caution clock? Let's listen.
No front grip at all. Completely blown through the front tires. Unbelievable tight exit. Unbelievable. Exit. Okay, we'll get that track bar off.
Already talking about the changes they're going to have to make. How frustrating is it when you're in his position and you just have something that's so difficult to work with right now?
Yeah, and there's nothing he can do. Just slow down, which, to Phil's point, that might not be a bad thing. Unfortunately, when the truck is tight, it uses more fuel through the corner to get the truck through its corner. So it's kind of a catch-22 there.
Yeah, we saw the 75 of Caleb Holman, who's having a great run, get by Johnny Sauter, moved him up to the 9th spot. That's 75 Food Country truck right there. John West Townley right there, the Zaxby's Chevrolet, excuse me. He's up in the 8th spot.
Coming up on the 49 of Wayne Edwards. Edwards is a lap down. Sauter maneuvering past the 1 of Ryan Ellis. Rico Abreu rim riding. Gets by them both.
Well, I worry about Johnny Sauter. He said on the radio that he blew through the front tires, already lost all his front grip. I'm really worried about keeping those tires on that truck, Todd.
That's exactly what I'd be worried about. You know, we saw 2 problems already, and if you're abusing those front tires like he is, that's a scary situation.
Matt Crafton went from 25th to 1st in 20 laps. Now his lead is 5 seconds. Texas Motor Speedway, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, race number 7 of the season. Matt Crafton with a dominating lead at this point of over 7 seconds, but here's the issue. He had a tire go down, got into the wall, had to come to the pit, so he's got fresher tires than everyone else. NASCAR gave him a right front tire that at some point he could put on with the 3 scuffs that they took off when he had to come in after the accident. You guys were talking during the break. Would you put the bad set, quote unquote, on now on the next pit stop? Get them over with and keep the good ones for later in the race?
Junior already talked about wanting to save the tires for maybe a late caution within the last 10 laps of the race. He told me in the garage this morning if they had an overtime, he'd put 4 tires on. So I think put those tires on now, Todd. Bite the bullet. Maybe they're not going to be as good. The balance is going to be a little bit off because you have one new right. Oh, we got trouble right there.
Tyler Reddick
looks like
was
a right rear tire here.
Reddick was running 5th.
Looks like I think a right rear tire went down on that truck.
Don't see any damage on the side of that car, but listen to it.
That's why he has to be very, very careful. Even if he loses a lap here, just get in there, not tear the bodywork off that truck.
Well, we were within 4 or 5 laps there of the caution clock expiring and bringing out a caution anyway, but now it's definitely out. Oh, that right
the problem
rear.
He's going to have to, he's already got by his pit. He's going to have to go all the way around the racetrack.
The only good thing is it's going to fold that quarter panel up under. They can pull that back.
Yeah, I think that tire was going down there. He had a problem right now. You see how slow he is. Timothy Peters drives by him. Then he's going to get to the corner here, and what he chases it. He knows he has a problem. He's doing all he can do to maintain control.
And again, good thing you didn't get into the wall and do even more damage. Here you're on board with him. Yeah, you hear it all the way back there in turn 2.
Oh, yeah. He tried to maintain too much speed when he got down here in this corner. I'm not sure why he was maintaining that speed, because he needed to come to pit road regardless right there. I don't know. And then he didn't stop in his pit either.
No, that was a couple of rookie mistakes right there. That's, you know, you'd think after 4 years he probably would have learned to not do those things.
So they waved Reddick past the pace truck. He's coming on pit road. You see that damage now behind that right rear tire getting worse. Reddick into the box.
I tell you, Phil, that quarter panel can't be fixed. He's lucky it didn't tear it off.
Again, Reddick was running 5th at the time.
They're going to have to build a brace to go
under
under
put
there.
some sort of a brace on there, or it'll just be flapping in the breeze.
And as much as these trucks lean on those quarter panels for aerodynamic side force, they're going to have to fix that thing.
He's lost 1 lap, which that's, again, we have a long way to go in this race, 115 laps to go.
Well, the stories already tonight as you see that tire damage. We've had Christopher Bell with an issue. We've had Matt Crafton with a problem, Spencer Gallagher, and now Tyler Reddick. All 4 of these drivers that wouldn't be surprised if they would have won this race. All could have been considered contenders.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So the pits will be open, and there will be driver after driver after driver very thankful to be coming to get 4 tires.
For sure.
Here they come. On pit road, the first to hit is the 88 of Matt Crafton. Caitlin Vincey's downstairs. She'll welcome the 33 of Ben Kennedy.
Well, Ben Kennedy, taking a look at him at the top of your screen, he's told his team he's still just a little bit tight off now. First weekend with Marcus Richmond, he was really excited to have that crew chief with him. A lot of veteran experience with that guy. They worked together previously at Red Horse Racing. As you're going to see, they're taking a 4-tire stop. Hermie.
The 19 of Daniel Hemrick got too tight on that run. They'll make an air pressure adjustment. 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. You see a wedge wrench going into the left rear to make a wedge adjustment. Matt Crafton, 4 sticker tires on the 88. Left side and Sunoco fuel down and away. And he easily wins the race off pit road.
Well, we talked about maybe Crafton and crew chief Junior Joyner would put on the odd set, and instead they put on the stickers. Maybe we'll get a word with him when we come back, and he can talk about that decision. Crafton is your leader at Texas. Hey, if you've been watching Copa America, coming off their 4-0 victory over rival Costa Rica, the United States looks to continue the winning ways and secure a spot in the knockout round when they square off against Paraguay. That's tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. Copa America on FS1, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. That 4-0 victory over Costa Rica, that was fun. It's always fun to see your team that you're rooting for just have its way. The United States certainly did.
Kind of like Matt Crafton, a little bit.
Kind of, if that's your guy, yeah, for sure. Well, there's Tyler Reddick, and no, the stuffing didn't come out of his pillow. It's, well, what is that, guys? What is all that? That looks like feathers in there with him.
That is fabric from the carcass of the tire. That thing was flopping around. Every time it go around, it's just ripping and shredding it apart. And they probably knocked the panel out from inside the fender.
Yeah, the crush panel. That keeps that stuff.
All
supposed to keep that stuff outside.
And all that fabric came right inside with him. He's covered with it.
You thought it was snowing in there, didn't he?
Fortunately, he's got that helmet sock on, and he's got fresh air coming in, so he's not going to breathe any of that stuff.
So Tyler Reddick and company doing a little housekeeping and also working on the repair of that right rear.
Yeah, we get a brace on that quarter panel for that 29 truck. He's only 1 lap down, so his day is not ruined for sure.
And there's that tire's not supposed to be in that place. It was an uncontrolled tire penalty for the 50 of Travis Quapple. All right, let's check in with Hermie and the crew chief of that 88. Hermie?
Well, Junior, our analyst in the booth said you may want to put those mismatch set on now and save your stickers for later. You put stickers on why?
Well, you blew my cover. Everyone's supposed to think I put those on. I don't know. We came here to win this race. We're going to hope that it stays green a couple more times, then we might not even need those. The bad part is if we need them at the end, like 10 to go, we might be in trouble. But we got a fast Menards Tundra, so you never know.
How about the tires that just came off the truck the second time? How do they look?
They look great. I mean, we got confirmation from Goodyear that we run something over. There's a puncture in the center, so I feel comfortable now. Matt feels comfortable. We'll just go and continue on with our race, and hopefully we can bring this Tundra home in victory lane.
That's Junior Joyner. He did say, however, a little bit of excessive wear on the left side tires off of the 88, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Very interesting. What do you think of that strategy of hoping for long green flag runs?
Well, we only have 110 laps to go, and he has 2 more sets of tires in the pits. So you divide that by 3. He only has to run those tires 33, 34 laps, and I'm sure that's what he's hoping for.
Long runs is definitely what they're going to need. They don't need any cautions.
Actually, he just has 1 more set of the sticker tires in the pits, plus that mismatch set.
Yep. Well, we're getting ready to go back to racing. Green is coming. Matt Crafton will be the control vehicle. He'll be starting on the outside. Remember, you cannot beat the control vehicle to the line. So Hemrick, the lights are back on that pace truck, so they're going to go around again. John West Townley trying to figure out exactly where he's supposed to be starting. Nemechek doesn't want to let Townley in.
One thing for sure, Phil, with Matt having those new tires, we're going to see how he stacks up to the field
on even tires.
On even tires, and see how good his truck is.
I think it's pretty good.
I think it's pretty darn good.
They've sorted it out.
I think the crew did a great job of getting that fender out where it's supposed to be.
There's that 11 of Ramon Caroga. We talked to him at the start of the show. Remember, qualified up on the front row. Really doing a nice job. And Rico's having a great race, Vince.
How about it? Having a great race tonight. And let's go back Sunday night. Rico Abreu in the midget at Kokomo, Indiana Midget Week. Driving for Keith Kunz Motorsports. And Rico, that's the way he likes it. Runs it right up on the wall.
Our Christopher Bell got a victory at Indiana's Midget Week also, didn't he?
Yep, Bell won at Bloomington. Kokomo, if you've never been to Kokomo Speedway and you have an opportunity and you love that kind of racing, it is the best. And Rico Abreu will run that cushion like nobody else. He is terrific. Great win for Rico, and congratulations. Brian Clausen was the winner at Indiana Midget Week, won that championship. But Rico Abreu is a lot of fun to watch, and that's a great series.
Rico just getting better and better and better. We mentioned the fact that he had a great run going at Charlotte. Didn't get the finish he deserved, but just been solid up in the top 10 most of this race.
And the thing that I thought he was going to have a problem with was the feel of these trucks, understanding what he needed, and I think that's why he's getting better. He's got a better understanding of what he needs.
So the 88 of Crafton is the control vehicle. The 19 of Hemrick cannot fire off before Crafton. Once they get in the restart zone, and they are there, and Crafton gasses it, and we are green at Texas. But a great restart by Hemrick.
And it was dead even with them as they get down to turn number 1. Both these guys will be able to run that corner wide open on these fresh tires.
Byron and Kennedy right behind him in that second row. Sauter and Peters in the third row, 2 wide all the way back.
Look at Rico jump up there to the top of the racetrack already. He thinks he's at Kokomo.
Riding that seam, likes it. Byron really hanging tough, or Hemrick really hanging tough on the inside with Crafton.
Matt's giving him plenty of room, though. He's not tucked down at him, making him loose.
Yeah, Matt could really make life miserable for Daniel Hemrick, but he also takes a chance of taking himself out. If he really closed down on him, it's okay to do it on the straightaway, but give him a little bit of room in the corner.
No need to do it with 108 laps to go.
Exactly.
Now Crafton clears Hemrick.
Ben Kennedy around the outside of William Byron.
Really impressive run for Kennedy in that 33 tonight as you ride on board with the 21 of Johnny Sauter. Started this race from the pole. Now runs 5th.
Yeah, nobody wanted to see that caution any more than Johnny Sauter. About several laps before that caution came out, he said he'd already wiped out his front tires.
William Byron on the move, ducking inside of Kennedy for position.
Not quite able to clear Ben. Ben having such a good run here tonight.
I was talking with crew chief Rudy Fugel, that 9 truck, and William Byron. He's so impressed with the young driver that has already made his presence felt with a win at Kansas. Gets into the back of the 33 maybe a little bit on this pass.
Yeah, I thought I saw him wiggling around.
Was trying to get over to the inside, just looked like he misjudged just a touch.
Fuqua was talking about William Byron's balance between aggression and patience. Just 18 years old. He doesn't overdrive the truck. He really likes the future of this young driver.
Boy, Rudy's been really fortunate to have a couple good ones in the last couple years. Had Eric Jones last year and now William Byron. Eric Jones obviously went on and won that championship for Kyle Busch last year. And we certainly got to believe that William Byron is going to be a contender as well. He's already got a victory.
He's got a shot at it. There's no doubt about it. He's going to learn every race, and he's going to get better as he goes.
Sauter working on Kennedy for third. Hermie, did they get that 21 of Johnny Sauter fixed up at the pit stop?
Yeah, Vince, after practice last night, the 21 was one of the couple trucks that everybody in the garage felt like you had to outrun to win this race. Obviously qualified on the pole as well. Got really, really tight center and exit on that first run, but they put some tires on him, got him adjusted. He is up to third on the racetrack and tracking down Daniel Hemrick. So definitely good changes for the 21 of Johnny Sauter.
Sauter swept the races here a few years ago, 2012, and his crew chief at the time, Joe Shear Jr., who is on the box with Johnny tonight. The 86 of Tim Vaines has gone to the garage. Remember, Christopher Bell out already. First lap, missed a shift on the initial start of the race, went to the garage with an engine. Crafton had a tire go down and an issue. Spencer Gallagher the same. Tyler Reddick. Reddick, Gallagher, and Crafton are all still on track, and in fact, Crafton is your leader.
Johnny Sauter trying to size up Daniel Hemrick, going to drive down to the inside.
We've been watching these two the last couple laps, and it's interesting to watch it. Daniel goes to the bottom and Johnny goes to the top. Now Daniel went to the top and Johnny goes to the bottom. They know they got to keep that clean air, and Daniel's trying to block him.
Did you see that 19 truck, though, when he went over the bump, over in 3 and 4, that last lap? Looked like that truck jumped up a half a lane. Johnny makes that pass easily.
That's one thing that, as a driver here at Texas, you really got to pay attention to how you hit the bumps. If you hit it with the steering wheel turn too much or push a little bit, it's going to run you up the track, and it's going to wear on those tires and make it even worse. You have to run your line so that you run across those bumps straight so it doesn't upset the truck, doesn't abuse one end or the other.
We haven't talked a great deal about Timothy Peters. That's him right there, the 17 truck, trying to move underneath the 9 of William Byron. Now he's going to tuck in behind him. Timothy's solid all year long. I don't think he's finished outside the top 15 this entire season. And another strong run here tonight.
More on Peters with Caitlin.
Well, Bill, you mentioned that he's had a top 15 effort in every race so far this year, but still looking for the win. He said, I'm not satisfied with top 15 efforts, but he said the chemistry on their team is awesome. He said, even though we came together with a lot of new guys this season, you'd think we'd worked together for years. He said, I think our program right now at Red Horse Racing is the strongest it's ever been to date. Now, tonight, the biggest feedback he's given to his team is still just a little too free in that 17 truck.
Now he has his hands full with Quiroga, the 11 truck, his teammate. Took a peek down to the inside. Those guys right now are battling for 5th. William Byron has 5th, Timothy 6th, and Quiroga in 7th.
How about Herman Quiroga? Hasn't raced since, 19 months since the season finale 2014 at Homestead. He shows up this weekend in that Red Horse truck, front row starting qualifying position, and running very solidly inside the top 10 tonight. More on Quiroga with Hermie.
Vince, Quiroga's trying to make his way back up through the pack. We saw in the initial start of this race, he got caught in the center. Was a little bit caught off guard at how late the field took the green flag, or how late the field accelerated. First start in over a year. That's understandable. Then his truck got tight, center exit at the end of a run. So all those things combined really took away a lot of his track position. So he's now battling back up to 7th and getting back in contention.
It looks like he may take over that 6th spot right now. No, didn't quite clear William Byron. William's going to be able to fight back on the outside. Got a slow truck right in front of them. Where's that slow truck, the 07, going to go?
That's Ryan Lynch in the 07.
He's going to stay right on the bottom.
That's the battle for 6th.
You know, Herman did the smart thing at the start of that. He settled in, didn't panic, got running, holding his own.
Matt Crafton has been out front. Continues to hold that position over Johnny Sauter and Daniel Hemrick. A beautiful night in Texas.
Want to bet?
Matt Crafton has led the most laps tonight, more than 50. Johnny Sauter, Daniel Hemrick, Ben Kennedy, Timothy Peters, all chasing him. By the way, Crafton earlier tonight, we heard Junior Joyner, the crew chief, say that right front was a puncture. Also, from the Goodyear folks, the 23, Spencer Gallagher, the right front, high tire wear. The 29 of Reddick was cut. The driver said he saw that he ran over something. So that's the information from Goodyear, making sure everybody knows we don't have a tire issue. That's the situation regarding those 3 that have had problems tonight as we look at our Ford facts.
How about Ford sweeping the top 3 spots back in June of 1997? Kenny Irwin Jr., the late Kenny Irwin Jr. going to victory lane. And believe it or not, all 3 of those drivers were rookies that season. The only time that's ever happened in this series.
Finished 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
What a talent, Kenny Irwin.
Open wheel, stock cars.
Rookies in this series, but far from being rookies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We've got 10 in the field tonight that are racing here at Texas Motor Speedway for the first time. So look at the 13 of Cameron Haley. Currently back in 17th. That's Reddick behind him.
Yeah, right now Ben Rhodes and the 41 truck is actually the truck in the 3-pass position. He's the first truck 1 lap down. See William Byron moving way up the racetrack. See Rico now moving in on him. That will be a battle for the 7th spot. Elman Quiroga in the 11 has 6th.
15 on the lead lap. Just under halfway.
We're beginning to see these guys moving way up there, Phil. You know, if the bigger radius puts less of a strain on a tire, requires less grip, and it doesn't wear the tire, doesn't heat it up. I think that's what they're all worried about. They see these tire issues and getting a little worried about it probably.
But if you know that they've run over something, they've cut a tire, there's a difference between a tire issue and running over something and cutting a tire.
Well, you're right, but these crew chiefs, a lot of them don't know that information that you're privy to up here. It'll get to them eventually, but as a driver also, you know that it's better for your tires to be up there.
Watch Sauter up top, and then that 07 of Ryan Lynch and the 44 of Tommy Joe Martins getting together.
Had a bit of a moment there.
Yes.
Both did a great job saving it, though.
Rico Abreu in that 98 inside the top 10, currently running 8th.
Look at the momentum that William gets off that corner by running that high side.
It was so interesting to sit in the hauler with Rico and his teammate Matt Crafton. Of course, Crafton leading this race, and listen to Crafton go through the details of running this track and kind of to what Todd spoke to earlier about when you go over the bumps in 1 and 2, the way you want to have the front end of your truck pointed and how you want to attack each end, and just methodically went around the entire track per lap. And Rico just soaking it in like a sponge, and you're seeing Rico have a really good run tonight. Can't help but think that leadership of Crafton and that ThorSport team is a big difference maker.
I think without a doubt, and you have to remember this is only the 2nd year that Rico has raced with fenders on his vehicle.
Water and oil temperature going crazy. They got 200 to 245. I mean, it's swinging 40 degrees split on the water and oil, just bouncing down the straightaway. Just letting you know.
Well, the crew chief didn't seem too concerned about it.
No, a lot of times these gauges are electronic now, and a lot of times you'll have just a failure with the gauge. I've seen that before. Right now, if it doesn't push water out, I wouldn't be too concerned with it.
Just past halfway at Texas Motor Speedway. Matt Crafton dominating again on the mile and a half. The white flag is out. They're crashing. Christopher Bell upside down. And Johnny Sauter will win the season opener at Daytona. John Hunter Nemechek wins in Atlanta.
What a great race. And what a great job by that family team.
The drought is about to end. Today, Kyle Busch wins at Martinsville.
Oh, and Rhodes hits it. Rhodes takes it back. And here comes Byron.
William Byron is in front and will win at Kansas. It's Matt Crafton bringing it home for his first ever win at Dover. The 88 of Crafton for the second time in his career. The winner at Charlotte.
Matt Crafton likes it when the sun shines. That means it's slick. You got to hang on to it. He uses every bit of that experience.
Crafton may like it when the sun shines, but he likes it when the lights are on as well. He is putting it to him tonight. Matt Crafton led the most laps. You see the trucks, we have 15 on the lead lap. We've had 3 different leaders, 6 lead changes. Our pole winner, Johnny Sauters, led 6 laps. Daniel Hemrick's led 19.
You know, the last 23 races on a mile-and-a-half track, Matt Crafton is average leading about 35 laps. And he's gonna exceed that here. What an amazing job he's done here recently after going, what, almost 300 races before he won his 3rd career race, and now he just keeps piling up the wins.
Todd, is it too simple to say that he just feels more comfortable on the mile and a half? The style of racing. I mean, 9 of his 13 career wins have been on the mile and a half. He won 5 of the 9 on the mile and a half last year.
Yeah, I think that's a great statement. It's too simple. You can't just say that. I just think that Junior Joyner and everybody at ThorSport has just done such a great job with these trucks. You know, you hit on a combination, whether it be the shocks or the springs, the way they're hitting on the springs. They've got something that's working, and you got to give that to Junior and the engineers, and of course Matt's going out and getting it done every week.
And they've been together for a long time too. And this is on the verge. You know, he's on the verge of turning 40. I don't want to say it real loud, but tomorrow is his birthday.
You think he's going to take offense to that you brought up his age?
I'm going to say you said it. We're running out of time here, guys.
The caution clock is under a minute. Daniel Hemrick has led 19 laps tonight. Right now, he's running 8th, Hermie.
This caution cannot come soon enough for the 19 of Daniel Hemrick. He has a slow leak in the right rear tire on the 19. You can see him really slowing down on the racetrack, losing a lot of positions on the racetrack, so they'll be happy to get to pit road, put 4 tires on this 19 and try to get this track position back. But a slow leak in the right rear for the 19.
He's hoping not to be the yellow in the final seconds of the caution clock as Rico Abreu and William Byron come up around the outside of the 19.
How about Rico now is up to the 3rd spot.
Mike Bliss in the 63 with an issue.
That was just seconds before the caution clock was gonna bring out the caution flag. You can see the damage to that Mittler Brothers truck.
More importantly, the right side tires are still up. He did not get a flat. He must have just pushed up off the corner and flat sided it.
I think it couldn't have worked out any better for Junior Joyner because he feels like he's down a set of tires. He still has 2 in the pits and 2 good sets of tires plus that initial set. And right now we've only got 71 laps to go. You divide that in half, and he's in great shape.
Not what the rest of the field wants to hear when you look at how strong Crafton has been throughout the course of this race tonight.
That's why I never sat on top of the box. I was not good at that.
Well, I think you were pretty good where you were sitting.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there with that wheel in your hand. Yep.
Looks like Ben Rhodes may be our free pass. He was the first truck 1 lap down. Tyler Reddick just behind him. So Tyler Reddick will not be able to get the free pass this time.
See the numbers on Mike Bliss. That deal just came together last week. The Mittler brothers last Wednesday, they were having a conversation on the phone and said, what are you doing next week?
Looks like maybe a left front tire or something went down. Yeah. You mentioned the fact that the right side tires were up. Something obviously went wrong with that truck. It looked like maybe a left front tire or something broke up there in the front.
When Mike got out, he came around and looked at the right front. I think he thinks he had a right front flat, but obviously it's not.
So they'll tow the 63. Teams will be coming to pit road and be glad to get some fresh tires.
Yeah, they might have to wait a minute because Mike Bliss actually stopped right. You see him right there adjacent to pit road. So they'll have to wait to open pit road till they're able to get Mike Bliss's truck off of pit road.
Tires are such a factor. Does that narrow the gap and narrow the opportunities you have from a different strategy standpoint if you're some of these other teams that are chasing Matt Crafton?
Yeah, I think right now, I mean, there is no strategy.
Because you can't go with two tires, not going to be a difference maker. So I mean, so from a strategy perspective, you're kind of locked in.
You have to
coming in and getting 4 when everybody else comes and gets them.
You're hoping the caution flags fall when he has to use his last good set of tires, not his mismatched set. And then another caution falls when you can come in and put another set of tires on, and he has to put that mismatch set. Right now, that's what you're hoping for.
I mean, that mismatch set's the wild card right now.
It is the wild card for sure.
And if you're just joining us and you're wondering what are they talking about with the mismatch set, Crafton had a right front go down. They came in, they put on, took off 3 tires, and they were gifted one by NASCAR. So they still have that mismatch set in the pits.
Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. Trucks making their way down pit road, starting with the 17 truck of Timothy Peters. Now, he's a guy who's finished in the top 10 in the last 8 races on 1.5 mile racetracks. Told his team just a touch tighter. I wouldn't make any chassis adjustments. They're going to take tape off the grill, give it 4 tires and fuel. Hermie.
Matt Crafton and Junior Joyner have discussed whether to put stickers or the mixed match set of tires on the 88. They are going with stickers. No chassis adjustments on the 88. The 21 of Johnny Sauter, you see a track bar adjustment. This truck is too tight through the center and on exit. 4 tires and fuel also for the 21.
How about Johnny Sauter wins the battle off pit road?
Great job by that crew getting Sauter out ahead of Matt Crafton.
Herman Quiroga gains 3 spots. John Hunter Nemechek gains 4.
The restart at Texas Motor Speedway when we return. Pit stops being completed at Texas Motor Speedway, NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. 65 laps to go. It is a race that has seen lots of twists and turns, but Matt Crafton has been the man out front for most of the laps. He's led 75 so far. But on this restart, he'll be starting second because Johnny Sauter's team got the 21 truck out ahead of Crafton. Now here's the conversation between Crafton and his crew chief, Junior Joyner, about which set of tires to put on.
Searching around, seeing what I can do to help it. I mean, I can help a tremendous amount by different spots on the racetrack if it starts going away. I mean, I can definitely help.
You know, they're good for a few laps and then they fall off. The 21, he was better right there, but he really falls off after a few, but he's fast for a minute, you know.
That's one thing that makes me worried about that, saving that set to the end.
It's not exactly the part we thought we were going to hear there, but you heard him say about saving that mismatched set for the end. They don't really want to be in that position.
Yeah, Junior Joyner went on to say that we feel like if we get a caution with 10 laps to go, then it may not have been our day. But they were talking about, Matt was talking about how he can move around the racetrack to minimize the fall off on the tires a little bit.
The 21 of Johnny Sauter on the outside. He'll be the control truck. They're in the restart zone. Sauter is going, and we are back to racing at Texas.
Boy, Matt was on the button late, but man, did that thing accelerate and drove right by Johnny.
Crafton just launches to the lead, and Timothy Peters is following him into second.
Oh, that thing is strong.
William Byron now on the inside trying to get underneath Johnny Sauter for third.
Wow. Wide. Wow.
You know, Phil, I actually have had the exact same problem here. Lost the lead on a restart. The truck just wouldn't go for about 2 laps. We never did figure out what it was.
I thought you were going to say the problem of being 4 wide.
He's had that
was a big problem.
He's had that problem before, too.
Yeah, that was amazing. But on the restarts, that's what you see.
You see, Johnny's got it wound up now, and it's running good. He went back by William Byron.
We go back to that conversation that Joe Scheer Jr. had at pre-race in our pre-race interview about how they thought they brought a downforce truck. They were surprised to be on the pole, so they thought it would race better than it would be on the short run.
And that would really show up on the short run, too, when these tires are brand new. So that truck should get better as we go. Johnny now slides in the third spot here, right behind Timothy Peters.
Sauter looking to run the high line. He snagged that second position. There's Abreu on the inside. John West Townley in that 0-5. The 8 of John Hunter Nemechek. All running there in that 7th, 8th, 9th area. More on John Hunter Nemechek with Caitlin.
Well, John Hunter's been a guy steadily making his way through the field. He qualified 23rd. Now he's up to the top 10. He told his team he was a little snug off. They made an air pressure adjustment on that last stop. Now, although he's had one start here at Texas, he's got a good guy to help mentor him and give him his advice. That would be his dad, Joe Nemechek, who's actually spotting for him this evening. But where they've made a lot of gains is on pit road. They have the members of Jimmy Johnson's 48 Sprint Cup team pitting this truck. They've picked up a lot of spots on pit road, guys.
Yeah, John Hunter, of course, already has a win this season. Victorious at Atlanta, securing his spot in the chase. Currently 3rd in the chase standings.
How about that 20 truck right behind John Hunter? Austin Hill really doing a nice job. Haven't talked a great deal about Austin, but he's been solid, stayed in the lead lap, a little bit sideways that time coming off turn 4.
He's got a couple of Germain Racing 30 crew members off of my truck crewing that. Doug Chenard's the crew chief, and Mike Abner is helping, and they were really pumped up about tonight. They thought they had a truck they could go out and finish a good, solid top 15 with.
Yeah, certainly right now in the 11th spot has certainly an opportunity to maybe get a top 10.
The fast speeds of Texas and Matt Crafton. You see the damage on the right rear. Boy, have they recovered. They really... That could have been disastrous for them in that situation, and they have recovered, caught a little bit of a break, and they have capitalized.
Now, 3 wide.
See Tyler Reddick right now as we watch from Jesse Little's on board. Tyler Reddick trying to get in that free pass position. He's got it right now. If the caution flag were to come out, he would get the free pass and get back on the lead lap. I think he has a pretty fast truck. Jesse Little, the 81 truck right now, is being shown 2 laps down.
Cody Coughlin in that 51, that yellow truck lurking behind Reddick.
That 22 truck left side of your screen there for a moment is Austin Wayne Self. A solid run for him. Top 15 going still on the lead lap in his home track.
Battle for 7th with Townley and Abreu.
Well, I think the end of a long run is when Rico's truck looked like maybe, did he touch the wall?
He didn't get into the wall, but it was
he got awfully close.
It pushed up off the corner real bad, and he's really lucky he didn't get in the wall.
He was so good at the end of that long run right before the caution flag came out. Let's take another look here.
That's what you call an arrow push right there. He was right up on that truck and no downforce on the front.
Yeah, did touch that wall just ever so slightly.
Jumped the cushion.
Yeah, lost his momentum, though. That's what allowed the 33 of Ben Kennedy to go by.
And if you watch that, you see the front of Rico's truck come up just before it takes off to the wall. All that downforce came off of it.
A good job Doug George has done as the crew chief of that 98 for Rico Abreu. Working with the driver with so little experience in these fender vehicles, and yet Rico's made the comment that he's not caught up in the results. And when you look at his results, 29th, 11th, 10th, 22nd, 20th, he's not caught up in the results and where he's finishing. He's wanting the experience, the laps, and to continue to get better, knowing that later in the season when it really counts and you got to maybe get a spot in the chase, maybe you steal one and you win, but that's when it matters.
You talk about Doug George's crew chief. You know, he's a great crew chief. He does a great job. He understands these chassis, but Doug was also an outstanding race car driver himself on the West Coast, so that alone, he can help Rico with the driving.
How about Cole Custer now?
Running 6th. More on him with Caitlin.
Well, he's running 6th now, but he's picked up a lot of spots from where he qualified in 16th. And this is his first weekend working with crew chief David McCarty. Now, David is Junior Motorsports Truck Series shop foreman, so he's serving as an interim crew chief, but he's got nearly 200 races under his belt as a crew chief across NASCAR's 3 National Series, but putting on a pretty good performance. I just talked to his father, actually, Cole Custer's dad. He said, we're just a tick tight trying to keep up with this changing racetrack. This track's tightening up as we go.
Custer 15th in the chase standings. One of those teams that, frankly, expected more from this year. Wouldn't have been surprised at all if they'd already had a win, and wouldn't be surprised if they get a win before they're done. It's that quality of a team, Junior Motorsports, and that full-time truck effort.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier that truck's been to victory lane last year with Cole, as well as Casey Kane, who won at Charlotte in that truck, and Cole got to victory lane at Loudon the year before that.
Watching Ben Kennedy in that 33 and 9th as he stalks Abreu, and then we'll have John West Townley in his sights.
Rico up on the cushion.
Look how rough it was up there. Did you see that truck bouncing when it went over the tunnel area?
Right up by that wall, that bump is big.
Guys, remember, Rico drove up to the 3rd spot right before that caution flag came out, so his truck really has long run speed.
.50 laps to go. Caution clock approaching 12.5 minutes.
Remember, we turned that clock off with 20 laps to go, but if we go green till the clock runs out, we will have about 25 laps to go, so the caution clock is definitely still in play as of now.
No change at the front. Matt Crafton enjoying the lead as you see Abreu and the 11 of Vermont Quiroga battling for 6th.
He's starting to move now. Starting to move.
Yeah, there actually wasn't much of a battle to that, was it? Abreu drove right by him, and I think you guys hit it on the head. He has a long run truck.
He's got that thing working out there. I tell you what, it's like I said earlier, I think running that high line is a lot easier on those tires, and he's figured out how to do it. Roll up early, coast a little bit, ease back into the
Oh, trouble.
It's the 0-5 of Townley. Townley was inside the top 10. We just watched Townley and Kennedy and Rico Abreu.
Now Junior Joyner has a decision to make. He's got one set of sticker tires left. We've got 48 laps to go right now.
This is exactly what Junior didn't need to see.
Yeah, and our clock is done. We will not see the caution clock anymore because it would run out inside of 20 laps to go. He wanted to see the caution clock run out this time.
Both right sides are down. You see as Townley limps to pit lane.
I really don't see where he's got much of a choice on this. He's going to have to put that other set on, that bad set, because if he puts that good set on, he's done at the end.
Yeah, I agree. And save that last set in case we get a caution. I mean, you know, we still have 47 laps to go right now. I got to believe that maybe we will have another caution flag at some point.
So Crafton has, as we see John West Townley up there, lose control, and
a great job keeping that truck out of the wall, though.
Tyler Reddick gets the free pass on this caution.
See that he'd lift the rear tires up trying to keep that truck out of the outside wall, and that's exactly what it did.
So Townley comes in. It's taken care of, and out he goes. So Crafton has one sticker set of tires and one set of mismatched tires. 3 of those tires have about 10 or 11 laps on them, and then one tire would be a sticker tire.
Yeah, and Junior's been thinking about that the whole time. He's already made the call because he's coming down the pit road this time.
What do you think he's going to do? What would you want as a driver? Would you want the mismatch set now? Or
I'd rather have them now than have to worry about putting them on with 10 or 15 laps to go.
We heard Matt earlier say he wanted them, so you know what he's thinking.
All right, Caitlin.
Well, Timothy Peters is one of the Truck Series regulars, still looking for that first win of the year. He told his team this truck starts out a little too snug, but I like it. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment for tires and fuel as well. Hermie.
The 88 of Matt Crafton hits his pit box. Dominant truck, but they are going with 4 sticker tires on this stop. No adjustments on the 88 truck. The 21 of Johnny Sauter, the right rear, is out of the racetrack. You can see an adjustment in the right rear. 4 tires, Sunoco fuel down and away, and the race off pit road will be won by the 88.
Great job by Junior Joyner and his guys, and it was going to be a roll of the dice no matter what, whether he put the 4 stickers on like he did or put the other tires on. It was a roll of the dice because he's gambling right now that we're not going to see another caution flag, or that it's going to come so soon that nobody will stop and put another set of tires on.
There's an issue for Hemrick in then 19. That's too bad. He was running inside the top 10.
Don't know if he got in the wall, but they're definitely working on the brace on the quarter panel.
Less than 50 to go. Can anybody catch Matt Crafton?
Well, here we go. Coming back to 1 to go. Texas Motor Speedway. You got your last set of stickers on this truck. What has to happen for you to win?
It has to stay green, and the Menards Tundra has to be leading. That's a perfect scenario for us. So, you know, if the yellow comes out with 10 or so to go, we'll come and we'll put these on, and we'll just see what he can do. But, you know, we got three tires with 11 laps and 1 brand new one. So I guess we'll see how good we are then, huh?
We'll see what happens. But these guys have been the story all night. The 88, we'll see how it unfolds.
I don't know. You know, if they have to put those tires on, it might be okay for a little bit with cold, old tires. But it's, man, that's an iffy call.
Is it wrong for us to hope that we see that?
Yes, I think it is wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then never mind.
As far as Junior and Matt Crafton are concerned, it's wrong, yes.
Here's the restart, getting ready to go with Matt Crafton on the outside, that control vehicle. The 9 of William Byron inside. Green racing, 43 to go at Texas.
The restart by William Byron actually has a bit of an edge right now on Crafton. He's got Timothy Peters behind him pushing. Cole Custer's going to jump out, make it 3 wide.
Cole Custer diving down, looking for 3rd.
Look at Rico up against the wall.
Peters fighting back on the outside. Custer got loose, going to lose a spot or 2. Still a battle for the lead between Byron and Crafton.
Johnny Sauter trying to figure out which way to go, who's he want to follow. Right now he's going to slide in behind Matt Crafton.
Byron and Crafton have combined to win the last 3 races. Crafton back-to-back winners. Byron won at Kansas.
And who finished 2nd at Kansas? Matt Crafton.
Peters and Sauter right behind in case these two get loose and battling, and they'll pounce, waiting for their opportunity.
You know, that entire last run before that last caution flag, Timothy Peters stayed within a half a second of Matt Crafton throughout that run.
What a great view from on board Matt Crafton. You see Byron lurch ahead just a bit. Crafton fights back. Side by side with 40 to go.
Two pretty evenly matched trucks right now. Matt's giving him some room, but not a whole bunch extra room.
We got to give Matt credit. He's not pinching that kid down and making him loose and taking a spot. He's racing him for it.
Talking about the veteran and the rookie. Crafton, as Phil noted, will turn 40 tomorrow. 2-time series champ. William Byron, 18 years old, just graduated high school. And they are side by side, door to door. From the view of Johnny Sauter.
Well, those two guys have done an amazing job to stay side by side since this restart. Both of them using a lot of patience and giving each other a lot of room. Cole Custer might have made slight contact with a wall.
Custer was running 7th.
Yet at front, we're still side by side.
Every time one of the drivers gets a little bit of a head, Byron gets ahead just in that spot, and then Crafton gets the momentum off the top, and then he goes ahead, and then back and forth they go. Neither able to clear the other. Watch Cole Custer. I'm going to show you the replay. Can Byron get him? No. Watch Cole Custer, right-hand side of your screen in that 0-0. Little contact from John Hunter Nemechek.
What an amazing save by that young man. How about Johnny Sauter? He's joined the party. Matt Crafton finally gets the lead, and now Johnny's side by side with William Byron.
Sauter's another one that likes that long run. Feels like his truck's been a little bit better as the run goes. Finds a little more speed, and he's now in second. Will set his sights on Crafton.
And Timothy Peters right there as well. Now he's going to jump to the inside of William Byron.
Those first three trucks have all won so far this season. Peters hoping to get his first tonight. For third place.
You know, William running underneath Matt for all those laps in a row really put a strain on the right front tire. I wouldn't be a bit surprised that thing's starting to push on it a little bit. You can see right there, it's just not rolling the outside.
Timothy not quite able to clear him.
Byron holds on to that spot. Ben Kennedy and John Hunter Nemechek for fifth.
We were worried at the beginning of the race where John Hunter Nemechek was qualified, and here he is late in the race here racing in the top 5.
Rico Abreu.
I think we're going to
make it a party.
Rico's going 3 wide right here.
I think we're going to see Rico Abreu finish with a top 5 here tonight.
It's been a great run so far for that 98.
So John Hunter get a little bit loose up off the corner.
Good showing from ThorSport tonight with Crafton leading the way. Ben Rhodes having a good run tonight. He's in 8th. Mentioned Rico in 7th.
Make it 6th for Rico. Just got by the 33 of Ben Kennedy.
Cameron Haley, the 4th truck out of the ThorSport garage, down in 17th.
Really impressed with Rico up here on the top and how smooth he is and not overdriving. That's the hardest thing on the top is you want to overdrive it getting in, working on that right front tire, and you're ruining everything you're working for, trying to keep that thing rolling up there.
So reminiscent of what Kyle Larson does in the Sprint Cup series, and Larson and Abreu have raced together so much. Guessing Kyle's giving a little cheering for his buddy Rico tonight.
Rico give John Hunter a little tap coming off the corner there. Had that run going.
I think John Hunter has his hands full right now. That truck was pretty loose, but a good corner that time for John Hunter. And here comes Ben Kennedy.
Yeah, I think Rico didn't get through there as good as he had been.
Tip the cap to Kennedy and what he and crew chief Marcus Richmond have done tonight in their first time together.
Yeah, very solid debut for that team.
Rico
try it on the bottom.
Oh, looks pretty good too.
Still can't make it. John Hunter Nemechek's got just enough to keep Rico behind him. 30 laps to go to the finish. Matt Crafton trying to win his 3rd straight race. The last 5 races on 1.5-mile tracks, Matt Crafton has led the most laps in all of them. Tonight, he's been out front for 115 and counting. Inside of 25 to go, but Johnny Sauter has been closing the gap.
I think right now that Johnny's tires are starting to go. This is about every run. His tires have started falling off right about this point. And you can see right now, Matt's just just inching away from him every lap.
And remember, if we get a caution here sometime in the very near future, Matt Crafton has a mismatch set of tires in the box. The others have stickers, and that's going to be a big difference maker if it plays out that way.
Even if his tires weren't mismatched, even if all of them had 11 or 12 laps on him, he's going to be at a distinct disadvantage. Now, with one of those tires being new, Junior may be able to put that tire in whichever corner he needs as far as for balance.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say, Phil. It could actually work it into the setup.
Maybe the star of the night has been that man, Rico Abreu. That move was for 4th place, Caitlin.
Well, Rico said he was really looking forward to coming to Texas. He said from what he learned from his teammates, it races a lot like a dirt track, which certainly Rico's got a lot of experience at now. His best finish so far this season was 10th at Martinsville. They brought that same Martinsville truck to Texas this weekend, and Rico said, I feel like we're getting better. We just need to work on finishing races. I've had a lot of speed, but my goal is to just put a race together, and it seems like this team has done that. Decent qualifying effort in 13th. They've now made their way up into the top 5, guys.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Caitlin, he's been the fastest truck on the racetrack several laps here. Again, this lap, Rico Abreu is definitely on the move, and he's not out of contention for possible win here.
I'm loving the way he's moving around. He's at the bottom at one end. He goes at the top. He runs the bottom. His truck is really good right now, and he's learning a lot.
Like the old dirt track, that's what you got to do. You got to find the moisture, whether it's on the top or the bottom. Major League Baseball whip around coming up next, immediately following our broadcast here of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Camping World 20 to go at Texas Motor Speedway, just past 11 o'clock in the east.
I think Rico's going to whip around William here in just a moment. He has chased him down. That will be a battle for the 3rd spot. Yet again, Rico, the fastest truck on the racetrack by 7/10 of a second over Matt Crafton. Matt probably had some traffic he had to deal with.
Abreu's career best was 10th at Martinsville earlier this season.
So all the top 4 trucks, actually top 5 trucks in there. At one time, you could see on the screen.
See William Byron moving up the track, trying to figure out how he can block Rico, I'm guessing.
Let's get more on that 9 of William Byron, trying to keep Abreu behind him. Hermie?
Vince, another solid performance for this young driver. He's been good on the racetrack, good getting on and off pit road, giving good feedback to his crew chief, Rudy Fugle. Been a little bit tight through the center of both ends of this racetrack. Last time down pit road, raised the track bar on the right side, and some great racing he pulled off with Matt Crafton on the most recent restart, but he's getting ready to have his hands full with the 98. Should be some good racing from here to the end.
But I think, Todd, you made a great point. That battle with Crafton really is hurting him in the long run now.
It is. You gotta, you can abuse these tires, and we listen to these in-truck cameras, and these guys are lifting a lot, way more than they ever have here.
How about Tyler Reddick? What a great recovery for him. Got the free pass on our last caution flag. Restarted about 17th or 18th. Now has made his way back up into the top 10, running 8th.
Reddick needs this kind of performance too, because from a points perspective, he's outside the chase 8. And if Crafton would hold on to win this race tonight, or Sauter or Byron, they're the top 3. They all have wins already. So getting another win just makes those points all the more important for those drivers who don't yet have a win.
Right now, Junior Joyner is crossing his fingers, his toes, his eyes, everything he can think of for this race to go green the rest of the way.
And again, you think it would be unfair for us to kind of wish that maybe we'd see a yellow here, so we'd have to put that mismatch set on just to see how good they are, how good they really are.
Totally unfair of us. As Rico says, I'm going for 3rd right here.
Rico Abreu closing in on Byron.
I'm going to tell Junior Joyner, you mentioned it 2 or 3 times that you were hoping he had to put those tires on.
All for the sake of the show.
Yeah.
Hearing maybe that The 66 of Jordan Anderson may be putting a little fluid down on the track, so officials taking a close look, keeping an eye on that truck.
Yeah, Junior Joyner saying there's absolutely no fluid on the racetrack. So we're clean and green.
See, I'm just thinking that would just give the 88 team an opportunity to prove their superiority. Putting those tires on with, 11 laps on them and one scheduled time.
All right, Vince.
We've been watching Rico gaining on William Byron, but they're both gaining on Johnny Sauter. Yeah, Johnny's truck is going away bad right now.
Yeah, William Byron has been the fastest truck on the racetrack a couple of the last 3 or 4 laps. That time again, the fastest truck on the racetrack.
Yeah, the top 4 all within 2 seconds.
The one thing I've noticed watching Rico, he's trying to guess which way William's going to go, so he's not in that dirty air, and he's
losing ground right now.
Losing ground.
That was a big wiggle. That was a big wiggle.
Yeah, he had chased William down, and William has moved around the racetrack, moved up some, and has been able to really gain on it. See Parker Kligerman, who was having a good run, solid up in the top on the lead lap. Obviously an issue for him.
He was running 16th.
See if he's going to stay on the racetrack. I've been listening to a truck that really sounded like the motor was sour, and maybe that was Parker.
It sounded it when that shot on the back.
Here comes William Byron. He's chased down Johnny Sauter in that battle for second. Both inside a second. Back from Matt Crafton.
No, Williams going to get a run right here. A little bit. No.
And Matt Crafton not that far out in front of them. Look at Rico now diving to the inside. Going to pull up even with William Byron.
For third place with 10 to go at Texas.
Got the 66 of Jordan Anderson. Rico now is going to duck back in behind William. He has room in the middle if he can make it work.
The lap traffic going to make this interesting.
10 laps to go. Second, third, fourth right there, just within a second of Matt Crafton. And I think Williams going to drive right by Johnny Sauter for second.
Oh, it's like Sauter maybe got into the back end of Byron just a bit. Byron holds the position, and Abreu looking to take third from Sauter.
That was huge by William Byron to be able to hold on to that spot and keep Johnny behind him.
Johnny back.
All right, go get that 88.
Abreu inside of Sauter for third.
Rico not able to clear Johnny. What a great battle we have here. All 4 trucks separated by less than a second.
You make that move on the inside, but the momentum of that outside line just carries you through.
It certainly does. See William and Rico both right up against the outside wall. Johnny Sauter about a lane down from that.
There's your leader, Matt Crafton.
William Byron's catching him. Coming to 7 to go.
Crafton trying to win his third race in a row. Rico Abreu chasing down Johnny Sauter. That's for third. It would be a career best finish for Abreu tonight. Matt Crafton continuing to flex his mile-and-a-half muscle because he has been the master of the mile-and-a-half.
Remember, we heard him talking on the radio to Junior Joyner as Rico takes a dive down to the inside of Johnny Sauter. But as the tires fall off.
Sliding.
Rico got a little bit loose. Johnny really gave him a break there.
Yes, he did.
Same situation with William Byron earlier.
Abreu in third. That's William Byron ahead in second, and Byron trying to chase down that bright yellow Toyota of Matt Crafton.
Boy, Byron is right there. He's within a couple truck lengths right now.
He's got the outside working, getting that run off the corner. Oh, he stayed with him well right there.
What a great battle.
5 laps to go at Texas. Crafton and William Byron.
Oh, he thought about going to the inside.
Byron on the high side trying to get that momentum.
That got a little bit sideways down there.
For the lead, William Byron takes it from Matt Crafton. Less than 5 to go. Rico Abreu in third.
I think right now Matt Crafton is in shock that those guys were. Look, it got loose again. Rico's going to get him.
4 laps remaining. Abreu stalking Matt Crafton, the 2-time series champ, for second place.
Matt's just trying to hold on to that truck right now.
We saw how fast Matt Crafton has been this whole race. That's a sign of a truck that's good and free and rolling the corners. And at this run, it looks like that thing has stepped over the line and gotten too free.
Can Abreu chase down William Byron? Coming to 3 to go. Already a career best finish for Rico Abreu if he holds on to this position, but you know he's thinking win right here. Can he get William Byron?
We talked about the beginning of the show as he's chasing him down. 10 drivers here, never racing a truck at Texas. They're running 1-2 right now, 2 of them.
Byron goes to the bottom. Abreu rim riding, trying to get that momentum off the corner. 2 laps remaining.
Good run right there.
William Byron, the 18-year-old from Charlotte.
Ooh, Rico's in the fence. Rico's in the wall.
He's in the wall.
Yeah, he got up behind him, got the little arrow push, and it put him right in the fence.
What a race-winning move by William Byron to take that high line away from Rico.
Stay in green.
Rico still has his foot in it.
The white flag. 1 to go. William Byron trying to hold on for the win.
Oh,
Rico's in the wall again.
He probably blew that right front
tire. Cut a tire down.
What a shame.
Yeah, the right front tire looks like it's down on Rico's truck. He loses a spot to Johnny Sauter right there.
William Byron is bringing it home. The teenager is doing it again. His second career win. William Byron, victorious at Texas.
Rico's got nothing to be ashamed of, folks. That was an incredible drive he had.
Not at all, but what a great job by that 18-year-old William Byron. Amazing. Win number 2.
Rudy Fugel.
Hey, we had it when it counted. We get a cowboy hat, baby.
Rudy Fugel, as crew chief, was telling me before the race today that we weren't sure they had a race-winning truck, but just coming here and getting the laps and the experience was going to be so good for his young driver, and now they're going to park it in victory lane.
I just can't get over the move by William to take that outside line away. Rico may have driven right by him, guys, had William not have moved up the racetrack. Let's take another look at it. Look at the momentum Rico had here. He chased him down, he got right to his rear bumper, and then William runs the same line Rico's been running, and Rico got a little bit of aero tight right behind him and got into the wall.
Do you think that caught Rico off guard there because Byron did keep that line?
Absolutely. With the inexperience Rico had, that he didn't know that that's what was going to happen. He didn't expect him to run that high.
I think our future is pretty healthy here in this truck series.
I think so. We got an incredible group of drivers.
Burning it down in Texas. William Byron is your winner. Matt Crafton, Johnny Sauter, Ben Kennedy, and Tyler Reddick round out the top 5, and Rico Abreu finishes 9th.
Like Todd said, nothing to be ashamed of for Rico.
Not at all.
But what a great day. Just graduated from high school last week.
Liberty University, the sponsor, one of the board members from the school was here tonight. And they are certainly proud of that young freshman to be at Liberty.
What race presence, though, Phil? Like, you're right, to know to go up there and block that move. It's just the presence of mind to do that.
Well, here's our winners that we've had so far this season, and William Byron joining Matt Crafton as the two-time winners on that chart. And, of course, Kyle Busch right there in the middle, won at Martinsville, not championship eligible in the Truck Series, but those other four got to be feeling pretty good about their chances. Caitlin Vinci downstairs.
Well, Matt Crafton and Johnny Sauter exchanging some words here, looks like. Matt, a runner-up finish for you. What happened in those closing laps? Was there anything you could have done differently?
Nah, if I would have done it, if I could have did anything different, I would have did it. We just lost all drive off the corner for whatever reason right there. We ran so hard at the beginning of that run, and like I said, it just had 0-0 drive off. But I said it says a lot about this team. If you look at the right side of this truck, how beat up this thing is. I know we led the most laps and shoulda, coulda won this race, but like I said, it's all about these guys and never giving up.
Matt Crafton, a runner-up here at Texas.
So strong throughout the course of the night. Crafton led 134 laps. As you look at our chase standings, November 8 make the chase. And it's a 7-race chase that begins September 24th in New Hampshire.
How about Ben Kennedy? Only 3 points right now out of that last chase spot. Great top 5 for him. Finished 4th.
And Ryan Truex will fall off this list because he did not start this race tonight, was not here.
No longer chase eligible.
Yep, have to make your attempts at all of the races.
Great recovery by Tyler Reddick and his bunch to get a top 5 finish. He's 11 points clear now of the 9th spot.
John Hunter starting in the back, getting all the way up to 7.
When you look at this list, those that haven't won, who would you expect to be the first to put it in victory lane out of that group?
Boy, Timothy Peters has been so solid. And that 6th place finish here tonight. So Timothy Peters would be my pick maybe to get to victory lane next.
I said all last year, every week my pick to win was Daniel Hemrick. And I'm telling you, the kid's going to, when he wins the race, he's going to win several.
William Byron won the race tonight. He was the star of the show, but his co-star was Rico Abreu. He finished 9th. He's with Caitlin.
Thank you, Vince. Well, Rico, I know maybe you didn't get quite the finish you wanted, but what are some positives you can take away from this race? You had a strong one.
Yeah, definitely just build off of that. Obviously not the finishes that we want. I've crashed so many trucks for these guys, but Duke and Rhonda Thorson, I just thank them for believing in me and giving me this opportunity. Thor Sport Racing, Safe Light, Kerbreckers, they all are here because I'm here, and it's just I just really disappointed. I wish I could get them some better finishes, and I know we have speed, and I just got a lot of drive, and I just ain't ever gonna quit.
What was that battle like with William Byron in the 9?
I got the top going in 3 and 4 there at the end, and I just I kept following him and following him, and you can only follow someone so long, and we come to the white, and you just really got to push it, because the way they built this chase format, you have to win, and he's already in. So I wasn't going to do nothing too stupid and wreck somebody, because I've done that before, and I'm just, like I said, very fortunate for Safe Flight and Duke and Rhonda Thorson, Thor Sport Racing, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Rico.
Well done, young man, Rico Abreu. They knew he was here tonight, but William Byron takes it home. It's the 2nd win of the season. He won earlier this season at Kansas.
Yeah, Johnny Sauter, Ben Rhodes got together 3 and 4 on the last lap, and he got that win, but he just beat them all tonight.
Did it again. And Rudy Fugle, his crew chief, won here with Eric Jones last November. He's won it here tonight. Victory lane with Hermie.
There he is, William Byron, victory lane for the 2nd time this year in his young career. Awesome performance. What a great performance by you and your race team. First of all, the final 5 or 6 laps, you run down the 88 of Crafton, you take the lead, and then here comes the 98 of Rico Abreu. Walk us through those last couple of laps and the race-winning move probably when you moved up the racetrack to drive to victory lane.
Yeah, I found the top early in the race, and it didn't work that well, lap 15 to 20 in the run, but once I could get laps on the tires, it was really good, and it's just all about heart. I mean, honestly, it's you just got to want it, and my team wants it, and I see that every day, and we had a Vietnam veteran here today with Liberty University, and it's just really cool to have Liberty University support and have a fast Toyota Tundra.
When did you realize you had a shot to win this race? You guys were top 5 pretty much the entire race, made a couple adjustments, and the side-by-side racing with the 88 towards the end.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, we didn't have it that good till the last run, but Rudy fixed me up the last run, and I just can't thank everyone enough. Kyle, Samantha, KBM, all the fans. It was a great crowd tonight.
William Byron's in victory lane in Texas.
What an exciting night for that young man and that team. Second victory of the season for William Byron. Our next race in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series will come your way next Saturday, the 18th of June. We'll be at Iowa Speedway. Boy, that'll be fun.
We'll do a little beating and banging there, I would say.
You will indeed. Hey, Major League Baseball Whip Around is coming your way next. Oh, it's been a fun one tonight for Todd Bodine and Phil Parsons, Caitlin Vincey, and Hermie Sadler. Congratulations to William Byron, the winner tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. I'm Vince Welch. So long from the Lone Star State.
Whip Around is on the air at the top of the order. We check in with Chris Davis in Toronto, facing Marco Estrada with a man on O's down 1 in the 6th inning.
Estrada's delivery to him, and he got it. Deep right field. That is way back.